Hi, my name is Ian. I'm the restaurants manager of the Terminal City Club, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about oysters. First, I'll mention the tools of the trade. I've got a shucker here. I've got two different kinds of shuckers, one with a guard, one without. I like to use a shucker without a guard so I can get further into the bigger oysters, and the guard doesn't inhibit that. I've got a board which is specially made for oyster shucking. You can put the oyster in here and it doesn't move around. They're very important so you don't cut yourself. And you need some towels. I've got two different main types of oysters here. I've got an East Coast oyster, and I've got three types of West Coast oysters. From the East Coast, I have Malpeques, very famous from Prince Edward Island. From the West Coast, I have Chef's Creek, Royal Miyagis, and Kushis. There's a little bit of difference between these. The Kushis are grown in an estuary area. They're all tray cultured and they're all farmed. But depending on where the oyster is farmed, you'll get different flavors. You might get a little bit of cucumber. You might get something a bit more brackish. For example, the East Coast oyster, which is a very easy eating oyster. I always recommend these for a first-time oyster lover or future oyster lover. The genus and species of these oysters, this is a Crassostria virginica for the Malpeques and a Crassostria gigas for the West Coast oysters. When you buy oysters, a couple of important things to remember is you'll probably get oysters that are packed in ice. And when you get home, you want to take them out of the ice, put them in the fridge, put them on a plate with a wet towel over them. Oysters need to breathe, and if the oyster is in a bowl of ice, it's melting, they'll drown in the water and you'll have a dead oyster. They filter feed, and they filter about 28 liters of water every hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into opening the oysters. First of all, you want to look at the oyster, you want to find the cup side is going to be down, and right here at the end there's a hinge. So put the oyster down in the board, or it could be a folded up towel, something where the oyster is not going to move. Place your hand firmly on the oyster so it doesn't move. Stick your knife into the hinge fairly lightly. Once you feel it going in, give it a little twist. It'll pop. And then you want to find the abductor muscle, which is always about here. You want to run the knife along the top of the shell. Be very careful not to damage the body of the oyster. Keep it presentable. Scrape out any broken shell. Get the bottom of the abductor. And here you've got a presentable oyster. Thank you for watching.